Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Treaty 2, The Siege of Megacity. Continuing on from the last episode, I'll now be paying a visit to the waterworks, but before that, I'll be collecting all of the tanks and upgrades that are scattered outside of the facility. First one is a life upgrade over here. Now that I have access to the floating platforms, I can collect most of these upgrades rather easily. I just need to be careful with my jumps though. And sometimes stuff like this can happen, where I can clip under the terrain. At least I don't clip into a dead plane. I'll just use my regular momentum, that's a lot safer. I'm gonna need a lot of weapon energy in order to collect all these upgrades, as the floating platforms actually require quite a bit of weapon energy to use. Now that that's settled, let's get all the tanks and upgrades on this side. The Bright Beacon is a great boon over here. It makes seeking out all of these bonus items a cinch. Now that all the tanks and upgrades have been collected, it's time to enter the waterworks proper. We have a Fortress team playing here. I would have expected Bubble Man stage team or Dive Man stage team, or any water-based Roadmaster stage team. And just like in Mega Man Treaty and Mega Man in Megacity, we walk slower when underwater. Much slower. So I'll preemptively equip the charge boots. And we have 3 Roadmasters to deal with here. That seems to be the common trend in this game. Every facility has 3 Roadmasters to dispatch of, barring few exceptions. For instance, the Magnetic Transfer Facility, which only had 2 Roadmasters. Why am I suddenly running faster there? Oh, it's a glitch. That's all. I spy an E-tank there, but... sure, let's get it now. In case I can't get back over here. Oh well, time to take the easier route then. Let's just use an E-tank. I have plenty to spare. I don't think I'll need that many for the final boss encounter or the final stage. I'll take the upper route after I complete the lower route. And these enemies drop mines. They aren't instant dead, but they deal massive damage upon impact. Normally I'm supposed to go through several of these rooms before I get to the upper platforms. There are probably a series of staircases in one of these rooms. And sorry for the rapid changes in camera angles. It is a bit disorienting. Can't exactly see where I'm going. There's our staircase. And our first boss is to the east, right behind that door. But before that, let's collect all these upgrades. I wish I could equip 3 special abilities at a time. No other secrets here, so time to move onwards. What I'm supposed to do is activate the switch here, and that'll raise the water level. Assuming I can make the jumps properly. I probably want to do this now just in case I don't glitch out the game. Now with this I can cross the gap and reach this boss battle, as when underwater your max jump height is increased. So our first boss battle is Toadman, wherever he is. Raising the water even higher. Oh, there you are, Toadman. He hops on top of the water, that's why I can't see him. I probably want to activate all these switches at once. Maybe that's the solution to get him to drop down. Only one more to activate. Nope, he's still hopping around the place. Plan B. Oh, the water keeps raising higher as I jump higher. Well, I think I messed myself up by jumping that high. I can't reach him now properly. I want to see what happens when I activate the switch again. I don't see, so let me reset this boss battle. I'm not exactly understanding how to defeat this boss. So probably my best bet is to not activate any switch at all. That way I can actually hit Toadman. His weakness is probably an electric-based weapon. See, there's no purpose to activate those switches unless you want to make this boss battle much harder. And we get the Toad Hop. User uses energy to perform a double high jump. Kind of simple, and well, if I got this before I got the floating platforms, this would be a lot more useful. Then again, there are probably some environments where this is pretty useful. I just need to find them. Like in this stage, for example. I think we're all set, so let's move on to the next boss battle. My next direction should either be to the south or to the north. Let's keep going to the west and backtrack a bit so I can reach that boss battle. I see what they want me to do. You can't access this first boss battle that's nearest to the entrance of this facility unless you have access to either the floating platforms or, as intended here, the double high jump or Toad Hop. And that takes us to here. And now I can collect that life upgrade. I wonder if we can skip on top of the water. Sadly we can't. That would have been a nice alternative feature of using the Toad Hop. You know what? I'll go back there once I defeat this boss battle. That way I can teleport back to the start. Is there a bottomless pit over there? I can't see the ground, so I guess there's a bottomless pit. Yep, there is a bottomless pit. Thank you, dear Jelly. Or CW-01P. Yikes, these jumps, I need to use the charge boots. That seems to be my safest bet, or just use the floating platforms. That way, if I can get it at least once, I'm good. Get to this side of the room, and I can't get out of here because I need to destroy all the enemies. Watch as I fall off the platform too. Sorry for the jump cut over there, I need to take care of something. I'll complete this room, backtrack out of it, get an upgrade, recomplete this room, and then move on to the second boss battle. This is one of those locations where Toad Hop is pretty useful actually. Now getting to that upgrade is going to be the harder part. Especially as the physics changes a lot when you jump out of the water. Jump cut ahead as we already saw all this. Our first upgrade of this room is to the left. And it was a life upgrade, so it was worth it. Anything else of note? I don't see any, so I think we're in good shape. On to the next boss battle. For a second there the map changed entirely. Splash Woman. We don't have the usual boss team playing. So for this boss battle, I'm equipping the charge boots. This time, Splash Woman has access to lasers. Are any of the shots hitting, actually? Oh, I see the problem. They're homing in on the bubbles first. You know what, I'm just gonna use this special weapon. Firewall is surprisingly handy for this boss battle, especially thanks to her slower swimming speed. I didn't mean to swap to this. Well, it seems my best bet is the multi-shot or the regular Mega Buster, because it doesn't home in on enemies and it has infinite range. I didn't expect Splash Woman of all bosses to resist my attacks. Essentially my strategy here is spamming the multi-shot and damage tacking. Not the most advanced strategy, but it works. Out of all the bosses so far, she's not my least favorite, but it takes a while to defeat her, especially if you don't have the correct weapons, which I probably didn't. Aqua Laser. Creates a ball of energy that spawns spinning lasers, just like during her encounter. But let's get out of here, as I already collected all the upgrades up to this point, and the next boss I'll encounter is at the start of the facility. You can create a pretty good rave using this. I just wonder how much damage it deals per second, and if any bosses are weak to it. And just to make sure if I missed anything, you never know, it could be hiding behind a hidden block. And that's normally how you're supposed to get up here, as there's no other way to reach it without the use of floating platforms. I could have also used either the gear shot or the flamethrower during the Splash Woman encounter. Especially the former, that could have been pretty effective, as each gear deals more damage than a single pellet. And our boss here is Bubble Man from Mega Man 3D. He even has the same attack pattern, with all these mines scattered around the place. He even maintains his shield, but it's easily destroyable here with the flamethrower. In fact, let me see if this works, the flame wall, or the laser. If he ever gets back to this part of the terrain, that's the hard part. Just need to wait for him to get back onto this platform. Yet he doesn't, of course. Not only that, but the spikes actually block the laser too. And I'm out of weapon energy to use it, so let's do it again. I really want to try out this weapon. It deals a decent amount of damage per second. I really need to start conserving my life tanks though. The spinning tops deal a decent amount of damage per hit as well. I think that's his weakness, especially when he's at a lower elevation. bubble shield, just like in Mega Man 3D. Stationary shield that blocks 10 attacks before getting destroyed. It's not really that useful as it's stationary, unless you spam it a bit and then you can get a full bulwark going, but that's only really useful for certain boss battles as well as fortress bosses, but we'll have to see. But with that out of the way, I 100%ed this facility, unless I completely overlooked a room filled with upgrades. Let me double check the map. Nope, I explored all the blocks through this facility, though for some reason just before the Splash Woman encounter, the map was completely different, so I guess that was an error with the coding. So let's get out of here and end off this episode. I certainly like the waterworks more so compared to Mega Man 3D, but it falters in comparison with the air processing plant. I understand the water gimmick, but because of how slow you move and how claustrophobic some of the areas can get and how close up the camera is, it can get rather disorienting and not that fun. So in the next episode, I'll be entering another facility located in the central part of the city. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!